You know those words, they hurt me. You'd found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson and nobody cares. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again.
Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to The Sims 4 Royal Witch Kingdoms. Today we are picking up with the noble family of Ciccar over in the kingdom of Ciccar. We have just had a wedding over here. High Lord Diamond Ciccar has just married Lady Daphne Ciccar. She is no longer a Ramadust, she is no longer a miss, she is now the mistress of this house. So I'm excited for their marriage to finally be underway. Now, in the movie, in the beginning, we saw kind of like a brief little snippet of their like mindset going into this wedding with Diamond. It was more like, oh, finally, I'm not going to be the only one in this house. Because remember, his Stagda, his sister, Velena, married off in the previous season. So when their parents were still alive, she was married off. And funnily enough, Diamond's sister married King Lion over here, King Lion's older brother. So they've got that connection in that way, which is kind of strange. But hey, I love the way the families and the witches are connected at this point. But she married off, and then after their parents died, he was like the only one living in this house because he didn't have any other siblings. They were like two children in the house growing up. So he was by himself for a long time. And I think this marriage was glad that, okay, well, now there's going to be 2 of us in the house, so someone else. And that was important for him because he is like High Lord, but he doesn't have anyone to exercise that authority over. And typically for the High Lord and Lady, you exercise that power and authority over those living in your home, right? That rank below you, so your spouse and children. So finally he's going to be able to have that. So that was kind of his mindset. And then also all the nagging that his Nulka, his mother, used to do growing up, like, you know, go on a date with her, be a bit more proactive, like check up on her, see how things are going. He really hated that, but now, like, it's over and done with. I don't know what he thinks a marriage is and whether or not he's going to make effort in it, but hey, it's done. So there is that. And then we saw with Daphne, again, it was a little bit different because she was happy to finally get freedom from Meralda and to have a home where she would be her own witch and she wouldn't have to, you know, listen to her sister being the boss, and she wouldn't have to put up with her sister's perfect life. So she's really happy about this. I don't know how much of a domestic person Daphne is gonna be, but we'll have to see. With Diamond, he is pretty clear on like why he wants this marriage. For him, it's not about love or anything like that. For him, is having authority. I feel like it's very much like how Ignatius Siddeley was, High Lord Ignatius Siddeley, in the previous generation. I kind of get those vibes a bit from Diamond. So he's happy for that, and then obviously he wants to have heirs to continue his name, and all of that. So we're gonna dive in. They have thrown their wedding party and invited some of the guests that they are close to. Or, well, Diamond's the one who decides. He invited the guests that he's close to so that his new wife can mingle with them. And we have, like I said, these guys. We've got the High Queen and King of Ciccar over here. So I let them go about, do the socializing. Valena has come to visit. Was Dorian invited? I'm not too sure. Now, High Lady Calypso is also here, and High Queen Nimue. Outside, we have King Elrond, and then we have Lord Dorian, High Lord Dorian. So there we go. He's the one that Blaine is married to. Yeah. So we've got our guest socializing, and I don't think we invited anyone else. I actually think that was all. It was literally the Holbots, the Ramongs, the Ciccars, and that's it. And then we had High Lady Calypso, who is currently unmarried. So there we go. That is all that has been happening with these guys. Now, for the noble Ciccar wedding outfits, this is the male one. And these are the colors of the Sisita house, like the wedding colors of the Sisita house. And then we have Daphne over here. Daphne, if you could stand up, we could get a better look at you. Thank you. There we go. It's kind of like creams and whites with hints of orange, especially with the makeup. So there we go. This is what these guys look like. I'm gonna be honest, like, I feel like some appearances, like some outfits and then some makeup styles, like with the wedding ones, I like better than others, but also I do give them variation because I feel like that's how it would be, right? In this kind of scenario, like different customs and different cultures would have their own way of doing things. So there we go. They've got like peachy orange sort of makeup going on here. Okay, well, while they're chatting, I do want to address a few things. Now, actually, before we dive into that, with Diamond, you know how I said, guys, that he has like one thing on his mind, and it is just having someone to rule and heirs? Well, look at this. Try for a baby with Lady Daphne. That is his like first whim after marriage. He just does not even want to wait. So that's kind of crazy, but I'm excited that I have that because actually, I think the first, like, the consummation, that would probably count in the consummation, which sucks. If he could have had that whim, like, after the consummation, that would have been great, but hey, we have to work with what we have. But that does give me an insight into his mind, the fact that, yes, that is what he is thinking. And hopefully Daphne is able to keep up because, her family, they've got a reputation for being quite fertile, and hopefully she doesn't let anyone down in that regard. And then when when I was doing the movie, Daphne didn't actually have a want to get married to Diamond, but Diamond did. So Diamond had to get married to Daphne once, and then, straight after they got married, he got that try for a baby want. So that's kind of fascinating to me, because the previous family that we played with, the Ciccars, both of them, both Lion and Faina had the want to marry each other. So I can see there was some, love there. What are you doing, dude? No, okay, I know it's cold, but, it's your wedding day. Please, wear the wedding outfit. Stick with the wedding outfit. Let's be consistent. Now, the thing that I wanted to talk about is off-camera, guys, right? Literally in the previous episode, because at the end of every episode, I do check I go to Manage Worlds and check all the households, the witch households, to see, who's grown up, if anyone's mysteriously had a baby, because we do get some of those pop-up messages, and then we don't always find out whether or not it was successful or not. Anyways, we had 3 babies born. 3. And I was shook because I do not remember seeing any of them be pregnant to give us signs or get news or anything like that. So when I jumped on and I saw 3 new babies, I was like, wait, what? So anyways, I have added them to the spreadsheet, and those babies, their names I'll only be able to change once they're toddlers, but in the spreadsheet they have appropriate names. So, yeah, we have more children. And, guess who has 2 of them? 2 of them are literally Daphne's sisters, family members. So, let's just go to a family tree. Actually. Yeah, at this point, because, the Sims are married now, we could literally find out almost anything we want and go to any household. Check any household's family tree at this point. Without leaving our current one, because they're all connected somehow. So that's kind of cool. But, let's see. So, 2 of the babies were born in Ramong. So, obviously, we have Archrose over here. She had Meralda. Not Meralda. Meralda's a sister. She had Aveline. And then Aveline has now a younger sister. So, there's a baby girl in the Rowan house, so I guess we knew they were trying, so they were successful. And then Meralda's one was a bit of a surprise to me. Now, we know, had Briellen, a little baby girl. And Briellen, she looks so cute. She's aged up into a toddler. She's got her father's, platinum. She's got all of her father's coloring. She's got the black eyes, the dark skin, the platinum hair. Very, very cute. And then Meralda had a baby boy. Now, the thing that I'm kind of stumped and curious about is, when did she have that baby? Because we did try before we left the household, but I waited 24 hours and she did not conceive then. And I do not remember getting a prompt asking if Meralda should try for a baby. I don't remember that prompt ever coming up, the pop-up. And then we were with the Ciccars for a couple of episodes, the past few ones. So she must have conceived during that time. Otherwise, we would have known, right? So it was definitely after we left. So there we go. There's a baby boy there now. So, cousins. Sorry. Medes. There we go. Medes. Very, very cute. Very, very cute. So we've got that going on. And then the other baby was actually born at the Holbot residence, which we can find out by going to Diamond's side of the family and going to his sister. And yes, she had a 3rd baby boy. So Soren, the toddler we saw, he grew up into a child. And then they had, another baby boy. which again, I don't know when that happened. But there we go, 3 babies that were born off camera, and they were all born at the same time. So they essentially have the same birthdays. Kinda cool. And I'm just realizing this now, but out of the 3 babies born, one is Diamond's nephew, and then one's Daphne's nephew / and niece. So that's kind of cool. Look at them becoming aunts and uncles again, over again, second / third time. Hopefully this doesn't put too much pressure on Daphne. I feel like if she didn't conceive, it definitely would. Because that's literally the only thing that Diamond wants from this marriage, really, is an heir. And Daphne's sisters, her stagders, they've been doing a great job at spreading the family genes. So all of the households they've been married into have been quite successful in that regard. And same for Valena. I mean, Diamond's own stagder, she's had 3 children now. So there's no problems on either side of their families as far as he's concerned. Every woman that he knows or is closely related to has been able to do it just fine. So if Daphne starts having problems, then I can see how that's going to cause an issue in their marriage. But it's kind of nice to let everyone chat with each other just a little bit. What is she going to do? What curse does she have? Uncontrollable charge. Well, that's not too good. And these guys out here chatting. I wonder what these two are chatting about. It's funny because, the nobles so far have not been having any problems with procreating. It's been all the royals. I mean, but to be honest, isn't that the story of most kind of real-life scenarios? I feel like the royals always have some sort of issue or problems when it comes to this, for whatever the heck reason. But our royals are definitely having this problem right now. I mean, they're the ones who need heirs, but they're kind of struggling with that whole concept. I can already see some hazards and stuff that need to be dealt with, but I don't want to make her do it while there's a party going on, because this is supposed to be their wedding celebration. And she's being a bit antisocial. I would have figured she would chat with the others a little bit more. I know it's cold and such, but I thought you'd want to, mingle with the others. That's the whole reason why Diamond, I feel like that's what Diamond would want. Diamond would want Daphne to go and introduce herself to the others, and meet the others and chat with them, talk with them, mingle with his crowd, because these are his friends. These are the people that he has built connections with over time, that he's close to. Well, not everyone. Acquaintances or friends. He's friends with the Ciccars, for sure, Ciccar royalty. Well, Elrond is a Ramong, but he's friends with them, and Calypso. And he and Daphne have a, tacit understanding, I feel. He's friends with Nimue, too. Not so much with his brother-in-law, his Stabellum, Dorian, and with King Lion. But yeah. Okay, the guests have left, and now Daphne, I swear I'm gonna call her Archros because I'm just so used to seeing Archros, but Daphne here, she's gonna dive into domestic life. Now, thankfully, she's got an arsenal of spells at her disposal, because she has Scrubberoo, she's got Repario, and she's also got the Delicioso spell. So hopefully things are going to be easy for her. Unfortunately, she does have this curse over here of uncontrollable charge, so let's hope she doesn't die on us while going about and magicking away all of the dirt and broken items in the house. Now, I had to jump really quickly from where we left off because there was this itching feeling at the back of my throat, and I really had to cough. And it wasn't just a one cough and I'm done. It was the persistent one that doesn't stop for a few minutes, and obviously I'm not going to make you guys sit here and listen to me coughing. So remember how in the last episode I said, like, which was I think a week ago, I said that I was getting into, oh, what is this? I don't know. Like I said, I was getting sick again after recovering from a fever earlier in November. Then in the last episode, I was like, oh, darn it, I think I'm getting a fever again. Not fun. Well, anyways, turns out my brother and I had COVID. So we were out. We were out for like a week. Like the downstairs portion of our house was essentially the sick ward. So my brother and I spent like 4 days or something just being unable to do anything because we just had a really bad fever. So anyways, I'm recovering from that. I'm all good now. The only problem I've got left is this lingering flippin' cough. So, yeah. I couldn't even record yesterday, which was Saturday, because my throat was hurting so much. My throat was just so painful and the coughing was really bad. But today it's like a lot better. The throat doesn't hurt. Just sometimes, out of nowhere, the cough will come. And when that happens, I gotta cut the footage, gotta skip stuff. Anyways, she did not die, wonderfully. Actually, I really do want to, who keeps making grilled sandwiches? Like, come on. Can we? There's no way to, like, discharge that, right? Let's try magicking this. Even though it's probably dangerous, that's fine. Can I just, like, yank you? No, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, can I yank you into the recycling bin? Apparently not. Okay, that was successful and highly dangerous, so let's try not to do that. Let's clean this up. And then actually, I want to call over Vila. We're going to invite Vila because we wish to chat with Vila. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to be friendly with him. Daphne wants to be friendly with High Lord Vila. Obviously, I feel like she wants a taste of her home kingdom. Not home, because remember, she kept trying to leave home, but home kingdom, you know? The motherland. So, that's probably why she wants, Vila to come visit. So he'll be right over. But yeah, this is where the wedding ceremony took place for them. Like, we did the same sort of setup that we saw at the palace. Which was this kind of area here, but we saw that happening right in front. So we had to dismantle, like, all of the betrothal stuff that we had. And, you know, over the ages, we might even see some of these marriage customs or some of these betrothal customs, like, changing. Because it does happen, right? Traditions change over time. Some things are quite staunch, but other things, they change. Okay, you walking on in? We'll get Diamond to receive his guest. I mean, it's actually Archero's. Every single time! It's Daphne's guest, but, you know, Diamond's the head of the house. Okay, let's be friendly with Vila. Discuss overcharge risks, like the fact that we're buzzing with all this energy and we might just be thrown up in the air randomly and electrocuted by it. Yeah, let's talk about it just a little bit. And he's angry. I wonder why. Like, why are you so angry, my dudes? I don't get it. Look at him. Look at that fierce face. Okay, now he's kind of happy. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what has you so riled up, Vila. Oh, goodness. He's provoking us. Seriously, Vila, I don't know what's got you so riled up. And now she wants to get to know High Queen Nimue. Well, that's good. We'll invite the High Queen over as well. Let's invite her to come hang out with us. By the way, Vila, congratulations on another daughter? Yep, I think he's the one that had a daughter, right? I think so. It's a bit confusing when all these babies are born in, like, at the same time or in strange orders. You know what I mean? Okay, you're out here playing some chess, which is fine. Vilal's, like, stomping around the house. Seriously, dude, try and be nicer to us. I'm really curious, like, what is his problem, do you think? Oh, thank you, Valena, for the wishes, the kind wishes. Okay, here comes High Queen Nimue. We'll get Diamond to invite her in as well. Receive your guest. And he and Nimue, yeah, I think they're the only two ones that have the green skin. Like the light green skin, if I'm not mistaken. I might be, but that's what I remember. Okay, let's talk about potions. Why not? Talk about this amazing thing called a potion that the Fourth Kingdom can apparently do, but nobody really knows because nobody has been able to use said potions so far. I've had access to them. It's like a huge mystery. But they definitely, that's why the Yoji Kingdom was called into this alliance, because they have this special skill that no one else does. So, it's really fascinating. Okay, let's enthuse about magic, maybe. Oh, sorry, get to know. She specifically wanted to get to know the queen. Probably getting to know how the queen's been doing. Well, I don't see that anywhere, so I'm just gonna what is this? Insult to the High Queen? Oh my goodness, Daphne has grown wings. And yeah, you might notice my voice probably doesn't sound all that normal right now. It still has a hint of the sickness. But I feel much better. Not gonna lie. But seriously, don't you have a good relationship with High Queen Nimue? Well, I don't know. They do. They like friends. Not for long if this is how you keep acting. But I guess she was so frustrated with Ramong now that she's like married out, moved out. She's like, screw the High Queen of Ramong. I have my own High Queen. Oh, I have my own High Queen of Ciccar right over here, Faina. Okay, I was wondering why Vala was so angry, but now, did you see that? Did you guys see that? Because while I was just yammering on, I saw that Nimue is having an argument with Vala, and then Vala kind of just like made an invisible line between them, like on the floor. It just reminded me very much of like, don't cross the line, or you're crossing the line, or something like that. And I just remembered that these two, I don't know how their relationship is going with each other, but it might not be too great. Because remember, Elrond started having a problem with, Elrond and Nimue started having a problem because of Vala. Elrond thought Nimue was too close to Vala. And then, yeah, their marriage started having issues. They were starting to become, like, very aggressive and distant with each other. And then one day when we were playing with the Rawans, Vala, I think, what was he doing? I don't remember what exactly he was doing, but he was talking with Elrond, or he was being a bit flirty with Elrond. Like, this is when Elrond was jogging around outside their estate, and Vala came down for a walk or something, and then he saw Elrond, and then it was, I don't know, in his mind to be a bit flirty with Elrond, because he wanted to be in their good graces. So he flirted with Elrond a little bit. Elrond reciprocated, and then Nimue saw them, because she was also out of the palace apparently. She saw them from a distance, and then she got like really cheesed off and jealous, and then she stormed off. And I feel like now she's got beef with Vala, or they've got beef with each other because of Elrond. So I feel so bad for Vala. He keeps getting pulled into all of this like royal drama that he's not even, well, I mean, to be honest, I feel like you kind of signed up for it when you felt like flirting with Elrond. I feel like that must be it. That's why these two are frustrated. They're like in each other's vicinity, and I'm assuming they don't get along too well. So, very unfortunate. Okay, before you go up, actually, you don't have to make food just now. If you do, you'll probably kill yourself because you're like overcharged. So maybe not in that direction. Okay, I'll leave them be. We'll catch up some other time. Actually, this is your quarters, and I don't know where he's sleeping, but this is supposed to be his quarters. Okay, yeah, we have like ghosts. We have the ghosts over here. Still occupying these beds apparently. That's fine. That's fine. We'll check back in at a later point. What a scenario. It's like 1:30 a.m. in the morning and this guy gets like breakfast or a midnight snack, I suppose you could say, conjured in bed because his lovely wife from Ramong has the flippin' skills and she magicked up some fish and chips. So they're over here in his room eating, him by the fireplace, her on this chair because, I don't know, makes it feel like she's in power. But he wants to be warmer. Also, I completely forgot to show you guys the wedding portrait. So this is their wedding portrait, which looks quite sweet if I say so myself. And it has like they have a different pose than what the Ciccar royalty does. Because, like, some of these sims, right, some of these poses that I do, depending, like, if they're overweight or if, like, it depends on their clothes as well sometimes. Like, if they're wearing baggy clothes, then the poses, like, they clip. Parts of them clip into themselves. And obviously that's not very flattering. And that's exactly what was happening with the pose the Ciccar royals have in their wedding portrait. So I had to change it. Which is why they've got this going on and not what Faina and Lion had. But still, I think that looks quite nice. I think that looks quite pleasant. But definitely I miss the dramatic wedding outfit of the Ciccar royals. Like, these guys, I feel like their wedding outfits are, like, very, very simple. Which, I guess, kind of felt a little bit odd because, you know, we're in Ciccar. But at the same time, I guess it kind of makes sense to me that maybe for them and their wedding practices, the indulgence and all of that, the emphasis is not on maybe the wedding clothes. It's probably in enjoying, like, tasting, feeling the finer things in life, particularly food, which is why they do their vows and eat the fairy floss. So just, you know, they've got a different focus than some of the other kingdoms. Like, I feel like the Holkane and I guess the Ramong noble wedding attires feel a bit more decked up than the Ciccar one. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, especially with Ramong, I guess normally they dress quite plain, so their wedding outfits would be really out there. Whereas Ciccar's typically, they don't dress that plain, so their wedding outfits are a bit more on the simpler side. Just something different, I suppose. Okay, anyways, he woke up this morning and he was like, I need to get to know how Daphne is settling in. Which is how I'm going to interpret that one. So, Daphne, darling. I mean, I don't think he'd call her darling or anything like that. He'd be like, wife. How are you finding the duties? But they are, like, sneaking in some romance here and there, but I feel like, honestly, it's just building up. Like, every time they have a romantic interaction, to me, it's just gonna be like, Diamond's got kids on his mind. That's all it is. Diamond's just like, when are we gonna get down to business? Okay, let's tend to their needs a little bit. And, I mean, I was going to say they should be sleeping, but they're like full of energy at this point. They don't want to go to bed. And they don't really have anyone else they want to interact with either, so I might just play them and, like, practice magic and stuff until we get some other interesting things, like whims going on. Also, with Daphne, the skills and the spells that she has is important right now because she can no longer practice practical magic. She no longer has access to that knowledge because she doesn't live in that kingdom anymore. She lives in Ciccar. So from now on, she's going to be practicing mischief spells. So that's kind of interesting, I feel like. It's like, with these guys, like, any witch can have a maximum of 2 schools of magic, really, that they can pursue. And that's under unique circumstances, like if they're born in one kingdom and they marry into another, then they have access to 2 schools of magic. One that they learned growing up, and one that they will learn now that they have married out. So actually, even with alchemy, that could be a thing. So, for example, if in the next generation we have some Eoja children, if they learn not spells, but if they learn potions when they're young, then they can take knowledge of those potions if they marry out. And they can make those potions in their new homes. So, they wouldn't have to purchase those potions for anything. But I feel like there would still be some sort of rule in that instance that, like, those magics can only be used maybe domestically. So, like, if you've married out, you cannot use... Hold on a second. Let me try and explain this. For example, with Daphne. So if we had that situation going on, which most likely is going to be the case, and this is mainly I was thinking for alchemy, but I might as well apply this to everything else. Daphne was born with practical magic. That's what she learned growing up. But now she doesn't have access to that knowledge. So she can use all the practical spells that she learned, but she cannot learn any more. Instead, she's going to start learning mischief spells. Now, I feel as though, because she's unique and she's going to know practical and mischief, whereas Diamond's only ever going to know mischief, with Daphne, she should be able to, like, they should be able to, if they want in the future, perform services using mischief magic for others, right? Or using it as a form of trade in some way. But she cannot use her practical spells to offer services to someone outside the household. She can use her practical spells within the household, but not the practical spells like outside the household, because she doesn't live in Ramong anymore. Only the kingdoms which the magic school is from should be able to kind of sell that magic skill out or be hired for that magic skill. So with potions, same thing. Even if someone from Eoja marries out with, a handful of potions they know how to make, they can make those potions for their household, but they cannot sell those potions to anyone else. Instead, if these witches want to buy potions, they will have to go to one of the households in Eoja and buy directly from them. So let me know what you guys think about that. But I feel like that's kind of important because it protects the trade and the unique characteristics of each kingdom. Like, why would we need Eoja anymore if, their citizens married out and then everyone could make potions? So there we go. Curious things. But I'm gonna let them kind of do their own thing, and then we'll jump back in when we've got some interesting ones happening. Uh-oh, the married couple is having their first spat. I don't know what was going on there, but she made, food at the cost of her life almost. She was overloaded in the process, but she magicked up some garden salad. And, they sat down to eat with each other, and they were being kind of romantic, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, claws came out, and then, she started insulting Diamond, and I don't know what that was about. Thankfully, Diamond did get cheesed off. I feel like he's a little bit used to this kind of behavior from her. Honestly, guys, I feel like out of all the daughters, Daphne is the most like Candrica, and, as she's gotten older, I feel like she's become more and more. Do you guys remember back when, Lady Candrica and High Lord Valen were around, Daphne's parents? This is exactly what Candrica used to do to Valen, except Valen was obviously very much in love with her. She used to be romantic with him, and then out of nowhere, she would, insult him, and she would start fighting with him and saying stuff to him, and then next interaction, then she'll be, all lovey-dovey with him. So she was always, really hot and cold. Her emotions were a little bit all over the place, and I feel like Daphne's very much like that. She's mean at heart, But yeah, she is very much like that. She'll be romantic with Diamond, and then out of nowhere she'll insult him, and then she'll be romantic again, like she'll smile at him with affection. Now with them, I don't feel like with Candrica, she knew Valen was in love with her, and she was taking advantage of that to throw tantrums, and then giving him some attention to be like, oh, I didn't really mean that, I love you, type thing. But I don't think she was ever really in love with Diamond at all. So, no, what am I saying? Diamond? Jeez. She wasn't really in love with High Lord Valen. And I feel like Daphne kind of learned from that. And in this situation here, she enjoys what being Diamond's wife gives her, but she isn't in love with Diamond himself. Honey, if you're gonna go sleep in your own room. Actually, I want to be friendly with Diamond, so let's try and do that before you go to sleep. Let's be friendly with him. Let's discuss overcharge risks, because that's a friendly conversation topic. But yeah, I think she learned from that, and she's applying it to this situation. Like, both her sisters, I think, more or less have found love. With her, it's very different. And then with Diamond, the same with him. I don't think he's in love with Daphne at all. Them having any sort of romance in their relationship is solely for the purpose of heirs, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, they make effort with each other, but that's to keep things functional. They want to be able to ease into whatever has to be done when it has to be done. So I feel like that's really what it is. They are not really the type of people I feel to fall in love with each other. Very selfish in that regard. They're not selfless enough to be in love. So that's kind of curious, I feel. Kind of curious. So I suppose we have no guests or anything broken. That's fine. We have all of these, like, pet stuff from when we had magic wolves. And I don't know if we will again, because these two, no one here is really into that. They don't really have the traits for it. Whereas, for example, Faina, I think the royal family of Ciccar, maybe even Ramong, they have people in the household who very much would be interested in acquiring that. You want to chat with Master Kenzo? Well, Kenzo is a ghost and he's dead, and you don't have access to his urn in any way, shape, or form. So I really don't know what you're gonna go and do that with. Yeah, put that out of your mind. Maybe just thinking about Kenzo because Calypso attended their wedding celebration, so she. Maybe, like, it got into her head how Calypso was going to be betrothed to Kenzo. Like, she was in talks with Valar over that happening, and then, he unexpectedly died. So that would be quite unfortunate. Actually, no. What am I talking about? That's so weird. It was Kylo. She was in talks to marrying Kylo. Kenzo is her brother. Okay, I was a bit confused. Maybe when she came to the wedding, she talked to Daphne about how her brother recently died. Yeah, maybe that was it. That makes more sense, because the brother, actually, Kenzo was supposed to marry Meralda instead of Arthur. It was supposed to be Kenzo. They did get betrothed, I'm fairly sure, and then he died. So, they're probably just discussing that. Yeah. And Daphne would have known her because Daphne made the trip with Meralda when they were called to the family residence to discuss Kenzo's death, like to break the news to them. I mean, it happened out here in front of the estate, so Daphne was there at the time. How interesting how things kind of, spin, how stories spin themselves. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. When we come back in the next episode, we will have the noble consummation of Diamond and Daphne, and fingers crossed we get the heir that Diamond very desperately wants. Also, I am hoping that these people don't randomly start having kids. Like, let me just check the gameplay settings. Is it here? Where is the environment? Rain options? No, none of these. None of these. Where is, like, the... not the pack settings. Is there a... no, that's fine. But what was the flippin'... there's like a setting that you guys tell me that I could put on, which is gonna make them, like, autonomously have kids and stuff. Where is it? Because I do not want that to be a thing. Like, heck, I do not want that to be a thing. That would be so annoying. And I thought that was an option, unless they've just decided... oh, neighborhood stories, right, sorry. Oh! It's active. Oh my goodness. Okay, no. Jeez, that's why people were having kids. That's why those 3 babies were born out of nowhere, because my neighborhood stories were on, and it was supposed to be off. My goodness. See, I don't mind when they have babies after I get that pop-up of, you know, hey, we're thinking of trying for a baby, should we? That I'm fine with, because then I get notified. What I don't like is when they're randomly having babies without me knowing. Like, I don't want that to be a thing. So, I'm going to turn that off. Jeez Louise. I think the game updated, and then it just, like, flipped that switch. Which, thankfully, what am I saying? Checked and changed. There we go. It was, like, mixing the words. Mixing those words together. Anyways, guys. I'm gonna leave off before I go crazy from rambling, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.